Big 12 Radio. We are presented by Modelo, heard on TuneIn, watched on Big 12 Studios, and we are so pleased to be joined right now by the OG, Joey Brackets, Joe Lunardi from ESPN, the OG bracketologist, the best information, the greatest. What's going on, Joey? How are you?
I'm told, all right, that OG actually stands for oldest. And I think that's the bucket that I fall into
Original.
Now.
Original.
Oh, is that what it is? All right, I'm still trying to get used to the whole 6'7" thing.
Yeah, right. Oh, trust me, with two boys at 7 and 10 years old, they make fun of me constantly for not having any idea of what they're talking about.
So how about this? The last game I called a St. Joe's game, which is my alma mater here in Philly, and they were winning at the end. Somebody hit a shot, a scrub, to get them to 67 points and winning 6 of their last 7, right? So the whole student section is and I'm thinking,
what?
Is that like an obscene gesture?
Yeah.
I wasn't really sure.
Right, because the number that we used to always be associated was kind of obscene, right? Totally. It's like, am I supposed to be offended? Do I not avoid? Do I avoid? It is. You're right. It's bizarre.
I do know. I have a premonition that, if and when I miss a team this year, it's going to be a 6 or a 7th seed.
That's amazing. Great way to become a meme as well is on Selection Sunday for you to say that. And look, I mean, I cannot imagine the difficulty of the job this year because there's probably not like one elite team, but a lot of elite teams. And let's just start with last night. Last night was a lot of fun in the college basketball world. I'm a KU alum, so last night was a lot of fun for me. But you were saying last night not too much fun for a bracketologist.
Well, that's because, and we'll take you behind the curtain a little bit, right? The brackets go up every Tuesday and Friday morning. So because, at my advanced OG age, I like to sleep occasionally. I try to compile and post and have loaded a bracket, heading into the late games Monday night, so we don't stay up till 2 a.m. redoing it. And last night, with the number 1 overall seed involved in that game in Arizona, someone who might be me had to guess in advance in building a bracket the outcome of the game. And one may have guessed incorrectly, in spite of, for 35 minutes looking pretty small. And look, I know all the numbers there are to know. I know they've never lost on Big Monday. I know that, I've been to the Fog. I know Coach Self's record. I know all that stuff. But, if it's a 51-49 kind of situation, I built the bracket with Arizona right there. And whenever a team loses, anybody behind them on the seed list, it can juggle. So when the number 1 overall team loses, that's 67 dominoes. So it was a late night.
Well done.
That's all I'll say. But a great game because by the time it ended, I had enough adrenaline, what do they say in the Grinch, to do 10 brackets plus 2.
So what did last night mean for Arizona's quest for the number 1 overall seed? And this is kind of a two-parter. How low as a 1 seed would Arizona have to fall to not get the West?
They will get the West if they're a 1 seed of any stripe, 1, 2, 3, or 4.
That's kind of what I figured.
There's no other West team in contention to steal it. I mean, maybe Gonzaga at one point, but their loss at Portland last week, and that was a long shot to begin with. I mean, Arizona's resume and, just basketball quality, if you watch, is such that it would take a lot. Now, having said that, there was no way in you-know-what that they were going to go undefeated. Just look at the schedule.
Yeah.
I mean, at Kansas, at Houston, and that's just the top of the list. But I kept them number one overall. I went to bed with that. I slept on it. It's still Arizona and Michigan. There have been many weeks this year where one's been first in one poll and the other's been first in the second poll. But they each have one loss. Michigan's loss was a quad 2 at home to Wisconsin. Arizona's loss was last night. One of those is not like the other. And I kept Arizona over Michigan for that reason. Because bracketology is different than the poll voters. Like, the poll is more about when you lose, right? And you see that all the time in football, which makes it really dumb. But,
right.
They'll drop to 4th or 5th in the next poll, which is idiotic because there's no way there's 5 teams better than that.
Right. Well said. Is there anything that Houston or Iowa State or maybe even Kansas can do to get up to the 1 line? And I guess let's keep it to Houston and Iowa State, considering this morning you have them on the 2 line.
Yeah, but overall I have Houston 5th, Iowa State 7th, Kansas 9th. So they're all
in the mix,
in the hunt. I mean, look. A month from now, the top line is going to look like this: Duke, UConn, unless either has a complete collapse. Like, losing to their biggest challenger on the road by a basket doesn't count.
Right.
Okay, Duke, UConn, the Big Ten winner, and the Big 12 winner. So we don't really know who the Big 12 winner is going to be. And last night, some uncertainty was certainly thrown into the mix. And we don't know who the Big Ten winner is going to be. Michigan still has to play Illinois. Michigan still has to go to Purdue. Purdue's at Nebraska tonight. There's a lot to be said. So it looks like Arizona and Michigan today, but any of them could have a stretch of the schedule where they lose 2 out of 3 and drop while somebody sweeps. So you're right. There are, I'd say, 6 or 7 really, really good teams. They're not, Kentucky Anthony Davis good, but they're really, really good. And to me, Arizona and Michigan are still a cut above.
Yeah. Houston's interesting too, because it almost feels like Houston probably doesn't care if they're a 1 or a 2 as long as they get the South region and end up playing a region final and semifinal in Houston.
Yeah, but that's no guarantee, because they would have to be maybe at the top of the 2 seed line to get Houston, because Kansas could be in play for that spot. Nebraska could be in play for that spot. And the subtext of the whole Duke-UConn battle to be number 1 in the East is the way the regions fall. Whoever's 4th overall, or at least in the Duke-UConn competition, goes to the South, where they could be the 1 to Houston's 2 in Houston. And not that the Duke or the UConn people would ever complain about anything. But
Never.
I do get, the occasional text from, maybe the coach at UConn, and he's not going to like that.
No, he won't.
And he's probably going to blame it on me. Because why not?
I mean, all your job is to basically put together what you think the committee will do. Correct. So I know people get mad at you. It's like, how do you have this team out? I don't. I'm just going on what I think the committee will do.
Yeah, I've tried to tell people for years that I don't actually have a vote.
You're not on the committee.
I'm no different than the guy on the election night shows that says so-and-so is going to win because these are the exit polls.
Right.
But that's okay. It just kind of comes with the job, and I learned it didn't come easily at first, but, there's 365 teams. There's 68 spots. So that means at any given point in time, people in 297 places are going to hate my guts, and there isn't anything I can do about that. It's just math.
You're an easy target when the committee's kind of nameless and faceless. Joe Lunardi is not.
And if you can't take it, like go be an accountant or a toll taker or
right.
something.
Yeah. Speaking of, your first 4 out as of this morning. Again, this was released at 9:03 this morning Central Time, so 30 minutes ago. As Joe said earlier, that this is a Tuesday. You said Tuesday, Friday, right?
Tuesday, Friday until Champ Week, and then we go daily.
Daily,
because who wouldn't want to do it every day? And sometimes more than once a day when we get into those big conference tournament days.
So you've got first 4 out Oklahoma State, and then next 4 out includes so now it looks like West Virginia and TCU and Baylor are all part of the next 4 out. Is that correct?
Yeah. So I would call them on the under consideration list. That's the official committee term, because they have a board. I mean, it's digital now, but it says under consideration.
So what you've got 7 Big 12 teams getting in.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and there's a pretty healthy gap after UCF, I guess, is the 7th today. As I look at it, they're a 9. So to go from a 9 seed to, first or next 4 out is a pretty big gap. And any of those teams that are below the cut line are at least an NCAA level win and maybe 2 away from moving up and in. So, if I had to bet a mortgage payment, I would say that the Big 12 is going to finish at 7. For better or worse. Now, they're a really, really strong 7. The last time I did it, I think the Big 12 and the Big 10 had 7 or 10 of the 16 teams on the top 4 lines, and that's a lot. It's not like last year with the SEC, but that was not just a lot. That was unprecedented and probably unrepeatable.
When it comes to like Oklahoma State in particular, they're 4-6, but they've got a lot of winnable games left. That doesn't include a Kansas game and a Houston game.
I would say they have a lot of opportunities left.
Got it. Go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, especially road games. I don't know that there's any in that league except maybe Utah where you'd go, oh, well, that's winnable.
Yeah, it's winnable. Yeah.
Possible, yes. But, we can count on 1, 2, 3, 4 wins to get to, I don't know about that.
So I guess what I'm asking is, they're at Arizona State tonight, then TCU, they have Kansas, at Colorado, West Virginia, at Cincinnati, at UCF, Houston. Let's say they don't win either the Houston or the Kansas game, but they win every other game.
Well, then they're going to get in.
They're going to get in.
Because they'll have too many quad 1 wins at that point to ignore. I mean, remember, North Carolina got in last year with 1 quad 1 win.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean that it was the right thing to do.
Right.
It wasn't. But, I promised myself I'd get over that. I didn't say when, though.
Well, look, in apples to apples, if Oklahoma State gets there at the end and has just the 1 quad 1 win that they got against BYU, like they ain't North Carolina, Joe.
Well, and that was my point at the time.
Right.
I talked to several committee members after the fact and still bump into them. And I'll say to one that might be the athletic director at a school, let's say, not named North Carolina, and I'll say one out loud because I'm here. I'm like, if Temple is 1-12 in quad 1, and I say it right to the gentleman, are you getting in? And, I can't really answer that, which is a way of saying no. Freaking way. And Carolina this year, God love them, they have 5 times as many quad 1 wins already as they did last year. So I guess they're really showing me.
Yeah, no kidding. So how would you sort of characterize the Big 12 this season? It's obviously top heavy.
Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah. So, I mean, does
You know,
that...
on the seed list right now, 4 of the top 9 teams: Arizona, Houston, Iowa State, Kansas. And, that'd be a pretty good prop bet right there to take those 4 or the field. Right? And if somebody could give you Big 10 and Big 12 against the field, that'd be like the glory days of taking Tiger against the field at the Masters.
Wow. So what in your mind when you watch, because you're watching everybody, what stands out about Big 12 basketball more than maybe other leagues, or maybe there isn't anything?
I don't know if it's one thing. For me, it's always been about venues. Like, I think on television, and again, I live on the East Coast. I've been to a handful of Big 12 venues, but not many. I mean, a couple more now that there's new Big 12 teams that I've been to. Like, I've been to Arizona, I've been to Cincinnati, I've been to Colorado, I've been to Utah. It looks like winter night college basketball to me. Like, my favorite game of the week is always the 9:00 Eastern big Monday game. Because for me, again, last night being a bit of an exception, there's not really ever another game on at the same time that impacts the bracket. Okay? It's always at just a cold, mostly cold. I guess we have Arizona now, right? But it's just at something that says old-time college basketball to me. And Book Sciambi and Fran Fraschilla is my favorite pair.
Yeah.
I'm close personal friends with both of them. And it's one of the few windows during the week where I get to usually just kind of sit and watch a whole game. Most of the time, I'm tracking lots of games at one time. Like, if that game was Saturday at 4:00, I'd have 8 screens on and be ready to react or go on the air for a result from any of them.
Yeah.
But to be able to, like, sit and watch last night, that's really cool.
Yeah, and there's some good ones coming up, too, the rest of the way. The great Joe Lunardi, Joey Brackets, the original bracketologist from ESPN. Joe, thanks so much for your time and insight, man. You're the best. Thank you.
Yeah, and just say, for people who say I've never, touched a basketball, that's really not true. So there. Thanks.
Teflon.
That's it.
That's right. Joe Lunardi. Got to have thick skin. And, I mean, it is funny how people go after him like he's the one deciding this thing. Like, he's not the committee.
I'm Dr. Phil. I can't help it.
Joe Lunardi. We'll react to what we just heard from Joe next. This is Big 12 Today, presented by Modelo. Heard on TuneIn. Watched on Big 12 Studios.